The video opens with a grand scene in a luxurious ballroom filled with influential figures, business leaders, celebrities, politicians, and executives, rising in applause as a young African woman approaches the stage to accept a crystal award. The spotlight highlights her nervousness, marked by trembling hands. However, standing quietly in the shadows is her husband, Kang, a feared Korean Mafia boss. Despite the crowd's admiration, Minnie's expression remains unchanged, underscoring a deeper disconnect in their relationship. He believes his wife does not genuinely love him, only respects or cares about him. When she speaks publicly, her first words shatter his assumptions. "The greatest blessing of my life was meeting a man who still doesn't realize how much I love him." Though the audience smiles knowingly, Minnie remains unaware of the full truth, setting the stage for a profound emotional journey. The story flashes back years before this memorable night to introduce Kang, a 34-year-old man who rose to immense power in South Korea. Officially CEO of a major investment group, he is widely known as an untouchable billionaire with rumored dark undercurrents behind his influence. Despite outward success, Minnie's personal life is shaped by loss and emotional isolation. His mother died young, his father ruled through fear, and love was absent from his upbringing. By 18, Minnie adopts the belief that people stay only for something they want: money, power, protection, not love. This worldview dominates his adult life and infiltrates his marriage. Simultaneously, the narrative shifts to Zinal Bluve, a young African woman from a humble coastal community emphasizing family, kindness, and education. Her journey brings her to South Korea via scholarship, where she faces challenges such as language barriers, financial strain, and cultural isolation. Integrity and determination mark her character. Despite hardships, she works harder than most and gradually attracts attention, both positive and negative. Unknown to her, fate is leading her toward Minnie, whose heart remains closed. Minnie first notices Zinal at a charity event he nearly skips. Unlike others seeking attention, Zinal quietly helps others and treats everyone with respect, regardless of status. Minnie, usually indifferent or annoyed by social gatherings, finds himself intrigued by her genuine demeanor and honesty, a rare experience for him. Over ensuing months, repeated encounters at professional and charity settings reveal Zinal's unwavering authenticity and lack of interest in his power or wealth. Her respectful challenges to him spark fascination, yet emotional development appears one-sided. Minnie falls inwardly, but Zinal remains polite but distant, not offering romantic signs. The relationship hits a critical point when Zinal becomes embroiled in a scandal linked to Minnie's rivals, damaging her reputation despite innocence. She faces job losses, severed professional ties, and social judgment. This vulnerability touches Minnie, breaking through his emotional barriers as he begins to acknowledge his growing care for her. Nevertheless, he struggles with confession and is paralyzed by fear of rejection, a feeling unfamiliar to a man accustomed to having absolute control. This internal battle culminates in a surprising decision. Minnie proposes marriage directly without a traditional courtship period. Zinal, shocked but motivated by her belief in Minnie's underlying goodness, accepts, not for status or fear, but because she sees a man worth loving and protecting. However, a tragic misunderstanding takes root. Minnie convinces himself her acceptance stems from obligation or gratitude, not love. This misjudgment erects a painful emotional wall that defines their early marriage, marked by polite formality but emotional distance. The wedding garners media attention praising their perfect image, but privately, they remain strangers with unspoken feelings. Their first months in the luxurious mansion reveal a cold, lonely reality. Despite breathtaking surroundings, nights are silent and emotionally barren. Minnie often works late. Zinal waits quietly, showing care through meals, notes, and patience. Each act of kindness is misunderstood. Minnie views her gestures as mere politeness, never love. Consequently, his rising doubts cause him to emotionally withdraw further, intensifying the gap. Their shared battle is not against each other, but with their own fears and insecurities. Zinal embodies patience and hope, grounding herself in the belief that love requires time. She launches a foundation to support international students adjusting to life in Korea, motivated by her own struggles with loneliness and isolation. Though she works humbly, success follows. More volunteers join, sponsors appear, and the foundation grows notable. Unbeknownst to her, Minnie financially supports the foundation anonymously, proud in secret but never expressing this to her. Her gratitude remains silent, and the couple maintains parallel worlds of unspoken affection. A dramatic night almost transforms their relationship. After returning late from a stormy trip, Minnie finds Zinel asleep on the sofa waiting for him, a photo of him in her hands. This moment emits a rare warmth inside him, someone waiting like that had not happened in years. Yet old doubts immediately resurface, preventing him from embracing the feeling. This near breakthrough is lost to fear and mistrust again, illustrating the persistent emotional barriers between them. Zinel's growing public recognition as a compassionate leader culminates in widespread invitations and praise. Meanwhile, Minnie supports her in the shadows, but remains convinced he means little to her personally. A critical turning point occurs when Minnie overhears Zinel expressing to a friend that she wishes he knew she loved him but fears pressuring him, as he never wanted this marriage like typical couples do. Crushingly, Minnie only hears half the conversation, the part implying she is resigned, not loving, which deepens his emotional withdrawal. They become trapped in a mutual misunderstanding born of fear and silence. Both partners attempt to bridge the gap. Zinel tries family-like care and companionship. Minnie mistakes kindness for duty rather than love. Neither consciously recognizes they share the same feeling of distance and heartbreak. Over time, Minnie's grandfather falls ill, further shaking the family. Zinel's frequent visits and care for the patriarch showcase her steadfast compassion. His confrontation with Minnie bluntly states, "You are the biggest fool I have ever met. That woman loves you more than her own happiness." Though initially doubting, Minnie's grip on certainty wavers. The foundation's impact wins international acclaim. Zinel is announced as the recipient of a prestigious humanitarian award, recognized for her leadership and sacrifice. Following the announcement, a grand celebration is held, but amid public accolades, Zinel is privately emotional. This award represents more than recognition. It is a personal milestone in love. Minnie backs her fully but continues to wrestle with his insecurities. The day of the award ceremony is marked by anticipation and subtle shifts. Zinel, rehearsing her speech, prepares to reveal a deeply held secret, her enduring love for Minnie. Although she fears driving him away, she hopes her words will reach him. Minnie is likewise overwhelmed by the significance but still wary of hope due to a lifetime of disappointment. The ceremony itself is exquisite, held in Seoul's most prestigious venue, filled with dignitaries and luminaries who witness a presentation of Zinel's foundation's achievements. When called to the stage, her composure hides trembling hands and emotional vulnerability. Her speech begins humbly but soon grows deeply personal. She speaks of hidden supporters, strength derived from others, presence, and eventually directs her remarks at Minnie, who remains uncomprehending. The crowd crescendos as she declares unexpectedly, "The greatest blessing of my life was meeting a man who still doesn't realize how much I love him." Her heartfelt speech unveils layers of unseen support, how Minnie believed in her potential, protected her dreams silently, and cared deeply though his public persona masked it. The audience quickly recognizes her description of Minnie, but he struggles with disbelief. She continues describing how he quietly cares, hides vulnerability, and doubts his worthiness of love, truths only she seemed to know. The ballroom falls silent, emotions brimming, while Minnie's heart races with emerging realization. Zinel directly addresses Minnie with a confession of years-long love during trials and misunderstandings. As her tears fall, memories flood Minnie, nights waiting, small kindnesses ignored, patience offered, and love expressed subtly but consistently. One by one, walls crumble. The room is stunned by her concluding declaration. "I never married him because I felt obligated. I married him because I loved him." This public affirmation shatters Minnie's doubts and past fears. His tears fall freely for the first time in decades, releasing years of loneliness and pain. Zinel completes her speech highlighting that her greatest achievement is not the award but becoming Minnie's wife. The crowd erupts in applause, but the couple exists in an intimate moment separate from all else. Minnie rises and walks to the stage, joining her with tears shared. He confesses his wrong assumptions about her motivations and finally states the words he long withheld. "I love you." She replies likewise, and together they dissolve the fears and misunderstandings that once separated them. The ballroom cheers for their love's triumph as a new chapter begins. In the months following, life inside their opulent mansion transforms fundamentally. Where silence and distance reigned, now there is conversation, laughter, and genuine affection. They communicate openly, laugh freely, and abandon assumptions and fears in favor of honesty. The famous speech later is remembered as an iconic public declaration of love, not only for its poetic beauty, but as a testament to vulnerability and emotional breakthrough. Key insights and themes. Love is often quiet, expressed through patience, loyalty, and consistent, small sacrifices rather than grand gestures. Fear and past emotional wounds can cause misinterpretation of even the clearest signs of affection. Genuine love transcends social status, wealth, and power, growing instead through trust and openness. Miscommunication and unspoken assumptions can build invisible walls, but honesty and courage can dismantle them. True emotional strength lies in vulnerability, not in hiding feelings or guarding oneself with emotional barriers. This story powerfully illustrates that love is complex and requires bravery to uncover and embrace, especially for those burdened by past heartbreak and skepticism. The video closes by inviting viewers to engage through comments and subscriptions, promising more emotional stories centered on romance entwined with mafia intrigue. Story powerfully illustrates that love is complex and requires bravery to uncover and embrace, especially for those burdened by past heartbreak and skepticism. The video closes by inviting viewers to engage through comments and subscriptions, promising more emotional stories centered on romance entwined with mafia intrigue.